Hi there, welcome back. In case you're new, my name is Steve, and I'm building a racing game with Unity. This is my devlog series for it. What I'm currently working on is finishing this island that we're looking at. Specifically, the landscaping, the road system, the building placement. Once all of that's done, I'm going to go ahead and set up traffic for it. I'm going to set up the lighting, street lights, traffic lights, basically all of the detail work, things that the player can drive into, and just like destructible props. I want to look into that. So I have just a little bit. It looks like I'm probably about 70% of the way there for this island. So in this last session, what I've been working on was adding some buildings. So all of these buildings that I'm selecting now, these are all new. I also added this building right here. This is supposed to be a little convenient mart. I added a bunch of gas pumps over here, but I really don't like it, and I don't think that Seascape has the right types of... I'm going to play with the facades a little bit and see if I could get something out of it, but if I can't, I might just roll up my sleeves and model it. I've been trying to find as many assets from the asset store to use as I can, just because this is a pretty big project for one person. So anywhere I could save some time, that's definitely what I want to do. This industrial area, this was just basically some buildings from a free asset that I found on the store. So I created a few buildings and a wall as a perimeter, and then put those giant oil drums in there. And it looks pretty cool as the player's driving around. I also went in and added this water plane. It's just a plane with the blue texture. And you know, it looks good from a distance. And right now, that's all I need. I don't want to put Aquas in here because that's just a really expensive shader for something that the player literally almost never sees. I think the only time the player is going to get that close to the water is if they're just roaming around the open world and they drive up to the water. So maybe I'll do a shader swap if something like that happens. Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that happens with my workflow is as I sculpt the terrain and make changes to it and iterate through it, I press the auto smooth button on the Gaia texture spawner, and that's why the road is pretty much covered with terrain. So I'll have to check out all of those pieces from Perforce, all of the road pieces, and let that update. It also creates some minor issues where, like, you could see it from this angle. The fence is no longer on the ground or the wall. So, I mean, I could fix that by manually moving the fence, but I think I'll just resculpt the terrain to where it was when I set that fence and just clean that up. So yeah, that's basically what I've been working on today. This area over here is just, can't really, let's see. So there is a bunch of grass here. I don't know why it's not showing up, but anyway, so this is just oh, there we go. So that's just a forest area, and I think I'm going to leave that as a forest area. So all I really have left is this area next to this building and the two adjacent land plots, and then this little plot over here. And that's pretty much it. After that, I'm going to focus on setting up all of the details, just cleaning up all of the imperfections, making sure everything looks good, and possibly converting the terrain to a mesh. I don't believe that there's any reason that I need the terrain. I'm not positive, but with Vegetation Studio Pro, should render on a mesh. I believe that was one of its features. So if I just convert this to a mesh, as I make other changes to this landscape out here, when I eventually get there, and I might do like a terrain auto smooth or something like that, it's not going to affect this. So I might just bake out that mesh at that point. So yeah, that's where I am with the open world. And at this point, I feel like it's starting to come together, and I'm really looking forward to that, so I can set up AI and just bring it to life. I do have a build set up, so I'll just drive around really quick so we can see what that new environment art looks like in the scene. Whoa, I'm falling. So yeah, that's another side effect of me just auto smoothing the terrain. All of the edges just get smoothed, and that's why the car was falling. So once this area is done, I just want to basically lock it down, and I think converting everything to mesh is the best way. So here we are. This is the new industrial area, and I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, free assets that look awesome. Gotta love that. Having this grass over here too, and just this forest area. It's interesting. It definitely feels a lot cooler than just an empty landscape, which is what it was before. And here's some of the water. So from up here, it looks good enough. There's a little piece of land that I can drive on down here. So this is where it could look better. But honestly, I don't know. It might be good enough. We'll see. Not really concerned with the water right now. So yeah, I'll drive around the other side of that industrial area just so we could see what it looks like. But I feel like it's starting to come together. This whole island, for the most part, almost has content spread around. Here's the gas station area. So once there's asphalt and concrete and some lights and maybe some cars driving through here or something, I don't know. We'll see what I do with that. But I do want to create an actual mini mart looking thing for over here. And I guess that's about it. So I could drive through. Can I get out here? Yeah. So this area up here is where I added all of those new buildings. And it makes it feel more interesting. It's definitely cooler with 3D content out here than nothing. And I was thinking that, so right over here, if you don't know what is here, you can actually drive off the ledge. So I'm probably going to put some guardrails around, and I'm thinking that at a later point in the development, I'll probably just set up a script so if the player goes off the edge and actually falls in the water, that the player will just lose the race if they're in a race. And if they're not in a race, they'll probably spawn at wherever their default spawn point is. Kind of like a death screen kind of thing. And yeah, so these are the new buildings that I added. Well, these ones behind me have been there, but all of this right here is all new. And yeah, it just makes the world feel more complete and bigger. Baby steps. That's basically how I'm taking this project, one step at a time, and just try to improve something at every pass I give it, and also try to plan out what else I might want to do. So I still have a couple assets that I want to bring into this area. I have some type of stadium. I think it's a football stadium or something, and I also have a Ferris wheel. I want to put the Ferris wheel in the downtown area, and I'll probably put the stadium out on the outskirts. But at this point, yeah, this is where I'm at, and I'll probably spend another week or so playing with level design, and hopefully by then this island area that I'm on right now will be complete, and it'll start to have a bunch of props and street lights on it, and then I can work on setting up traffic with it and bringing it to life. Once I'm done with that, I think the next step would be to probably start creating some type of progression with the story, and have that lead into what I'll put in the other big landscape. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.